Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us for another Fat White Guy movie review. I'm Steve.
Josh.
And we're here today to tell you about another of the movies we watched this week. This one that we're about to talk about was on Netflix Instant, and it is Grown Ups. It's got Adam Sandler, Kevin James, Chris Rock, Rob Schneider, David Spade.
Whole host of
Superstar
people.
cast. Awesome cast.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this movie was out for so long without me seeing it. I want to say that one of my favorite actors in it that I'm so glad to see getting some big time play is Kevin James.
Kevin James is doing well lately.
The star of King of Queens. He, a few years ago, or however long, I'm bad with time, but I remember when I first saw him in a movie, I was like, oh, that's an odd twist, Kevin James in a movie, But he has got to be one of the most phenomenal actors ever. I absolutely love Kevin James. I'm a huge Kevin James fan. Can't say it enough. Without him, the movie wouldn't have had Kevin James in it.
No Kevin James without Kevin James.
So, I love the movie. The movie's about some school or some friends.
Yeah.
They played
childhood friends.
Childhood friends. That's what I was trying to say. And they were on a basketball team together. Tom.
They went to a summer camp and they did everything together.
Yeah. And they grew up, parted ways. Everybody did their own thing. Coach dies. Funeral brings another funeral, bringing people back together.
Maybe this could be not only Chris Rock week,
funeral
week.
Maybe. So
2 funerals and a wedding.
2 funerals and a wedding. That's right.
Yeah.
So they all come back, and then all of their different lifestyles kind of clash, and all their different memories, and how they treat different situations. It's really cool. About one of my favorite parts is Rob Schneider's whole his daughters. You'll have to see that. It's awesome. Rob Schneider is typical Rob Schneider in this movie.
He is the same character he's been since the mid-90s.
But he can get away with it. He really can.
It's fun.
There's
a
some
fun character.
There's some typecast characters that, whatever, get rid of it, it's over, but I can never get enough Rob Schneider.
He's pretty good.
It's cool. So, what did you think about the movie?
I really enjoyed this one. Steve Buscemi. That's my guy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Steve Buscemi has a couple of cameo appearances, and once again, Steve Buscemi is like the best thing going in the film. Adam Sandler, also, as usual, very entertaining. And his wife, the so sexy Salma Hayek. I really enjoyed that. I like the ethnics. Goodness, she's sexy in this. And Kevin James is also he is that character, the fat guy, the fat best friend. And Chris Rock, who was also in Chris Rock, who was in Death at a Funeral and a couple other ones, but I'm kind of deviating. And Chris Rock, who really didn't bring a lot to the comedy table in this one.
Yeah.
Didn't really. None of it just didn't seem like he had any funny.
And actually, both him and Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is always funny.
Yeah, Adam Sandler. Look at the screen. I mean, look at the camera.
But as far as straight up had me bawling laughing, he kind of was on the sidelines. Not because he's not funny, but it was kind of like you could look at him, look at his role, and almost think it was by choice and by design that he didn't want center stage funny in this movie. He took almost the mature route in this movie, if you will, kind of,
Somebody had to play the straight man.
Yeah. So, but I think the absolute the funnies, the center funnies was Kevin James and Rob Schneider and David Spade.
Yeah.
Those three were your goofballs, and then you kind of had Chris Rock.
Yeah,
and
they're bookended by the successful ones.
Yeah. But this movie caught me totally off guard. It was a sleeper. It was an absolute sleeper. I'd watched Hangover 2 previously, before watching this, the weekend before. 2 nights later, I watched Grown Ups, right before I was going to bed. I actually saw myself turning it on, kind of watching it, kind of falling asleep. I could not sleep. I laughed so hard.
It kept you up.
That movie had me. There was in 3 places I had to stop and rewind it because I missed what happened because I was laughing so hard.
Okay, can we know those places without giving away too much?
Well, I'll say Kevin James in the swing. Kevin James when he's getting out of the pool.
All right, Kevin James in the swing. That's not a huge plot point, but they're all jumping off a cliff. And to jump off the cliff, you hop out on the rope swing, and you go out and you release. And then you go into the water. Well, he decides he's going to show everybody, I guess I've still got it.
Yeah.
And he jumps on the rope and he swings out and he just holds on and he smashes against all the stuff.
He's so scared of the heights he can't let go of the rope. And when he swings back and it hits the rock, his fall, if you've ever seen Black Sheep or Tommy Boy.
Oh yeah, it is
the Chris Farley, the fall that he takes down the side of the mountain is kind of like this, is what it reminded me of. He takes such a horrible flip and fall and bounce, and it's like so stupid, but it's so funny.
Yeah,
it killed me. It absolutely killed me.
The physical comedy that Kevin James does in this film, every bit of the physical comedy is great. Yeah. It is top notch.
And then the whole arrow in the air, and then and then 2 feet on the zip line. I saw that coming from a mile away, but I fell over. The movie was absolutely hilarious. I will probably watch it 2 or 3 more times. And and I will go ahead and tell you now that I, for a fact, laughed harder and more watching Grown Ups than I did Hangover 2.
Wow. I'll agree. I'll agree with that. Grown Ups is absolutely hilarious, and it's like we're talking about Kevin James' physical humor that he does. It's awesome. Rob Schneider comes in and he plays the kind of the weirdo, and he's very good at playing
his third daughter.
Weirdo. Yeah.
His third daughter is. Oh
don't give it away. Don't give it away. But it's a good gag. It's a great gag.
Man.
And
if you think about it, his first and second daughter is an excellent gag in itself.
Yeah.
But then the third one is just like it's like twist after twist after twist, and you're like, oh, don't twist me anymore. And you're like, oh yeah, twist me.
And yeah,
it's good.
Yeah,
you gotta watch it.
It's a great film. It's even one that I would say the whole family can watch. I can't think of anything that would be out of place for it.
There's some innuendo, but it's not hardcore innuendo. I would probably watch it with my teenage children. I don't know if I'd watch it with my 7 and 8 year old. Because I just don't think kids, even with just light innuendo, I don't think it's becoming commonplace. But I wouldn't do it. Probably acceptable for most everybody else, but I wouldn't do it. But with my teenage kids, I'd watch it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it's a pretty good family film as long as you're there with them.
Yeah.
And overall, I'm gonna give it a 7.
Excellent movie. I'm giving it an 8.
Ooh,
yep.
That's high.
Yep, it's worth.
But it's a worthwhile film. It's on the Netflix instant. It's free. Watch it. Enjoy it. Get everybody in the room together.
Yeah, and I'll even say this. I know for a fact that with a large group of people, this is going to be one you either hate or you love. Because I can see where some people would just sit through it and be like, but if you're normal, this movie is awesome.
Yeah, if you're one of those hoity-toity types that prefers to look down on others, I don't think you're going to dig this.
Yeah.
This is for general America.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Get Her Done. No, it's higher than the Get Her Done.
Yeah,
it's higher than the Get Her Done.
It's not the Get Her Done. They love it too, but it's
the Get Her Dones will enjoy this.
It's smart comedy.
Yeah,
I will say that.
But the Get Her Dones will like Kevin James.
And you know what? It's got a don't degrade Kevin James.
I'm sorry. I know you got the man crush on him. If we just had Kevin James and Wilson Phillips.
That would be
in the same movie. Oh my!
I think if we could get Kevin James to do a Wilson Phillips dance, that would be awesome.
Or karaoke, Wilson Phillips karaoke.
Something.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
The movie itself, also besides being a great comedy, has a great family message as well.
Yeah.
They did a good job of intertwining those two to give it that cred as well.
Yeah. Like I said, it overall it is a very good film for the whole spectrum of people.
So I give it an 8
and a 7.
This has been a Fat White Guy Movie Review. Tell us what you think about it, the review and the movie. Please comment. Please subscribe. Let us know what you think.
And about us, too. Don't forget about us.
Exactly.
You can tell us what you think about us.
Yep.
Tell us if the light, there's too much glare on Steve's head.
Yeah, just let us know.
Or if I'm too pale. That could happen.
Hard to get.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.